Hey, what's up, everybody? Guess who's back? Me and Pete are back with the Sharpshootin podcast. Sorry we've been gone so long, but life comes into play and yada yada yada. Not going to go into details. It's sorry, but we're back. And I'm really mad that we're back at this moment. And I probably wouldn't be as angry if I wasn't drinking during the damn pay-per-view. But I really think that even if I were sober, I would be this pissed because fuck you, WWE. Shit. Anyway, say what's up to the people, Pete. Sorry.
What's going on, guys? I'm slightly less. I'm a bit more calm than you, Mike, but still as pissed off. Honestly, like you said, we couldn't have come back at a worse time. Almost feel like we should have just waited till Raw and then returned. But that being said, I'm glad we're back. Been gone for a while, and yeah, it's just good to be back and covering the WWE at this tragic time.
Yeah. It's sad that we have to say this tragic fucking time. Oh my goodness.
It's sad that looking back now at the pay-per-view, I think that I'm not as annoyed at seeing Booker T. Booker T actually turned into a highlight of the pay-per-view, which is saying something for me.
Yeah, that's not a good thing at all. Not at all. But, so, SummerSlam. We're just going to talk SummerSlam, not even the weeks leading up, because we all pretty much knew what time it was after, what happened at Battleground. We saw Brock get confronted by the Undertaker, and it was awesome. And we were all anticipating this match. We were just like seriously looking forward to this shit. And to be fair, that match was great. It was fucking awesome. But it ended badly. And I guess that's the theme of this pay-per-view is that the way they started, the way they went were cool. But they ended poorly. I think a lot of these matches just ended really, really bad. I don't know what WWE was thinking with a lot of this shit.
So starting with SummerSlam, I'm just going to say I was unaware of the match card, to be honest. So basically any matches that were going on, side matches that weren't the main ones, I was completely unaware. So I've been a bit behind on WWE. Like I've seen snippets of Raw over the last few weeks, but other than that, I haven't really been directly into it. So I actually missed the start of SummerSlam because we just got finished doing the Team Green podcast and transitioning from that to turning on SummerSlam. By the time I got actually into the SummerSlam stream, because I was in a few issues at the start, I'd missed the start. It was midway through the Sheamus Randy Orton match. But can you let the people know what you thought of the start, the opening bit?
I think the start kind of let us know that we were in for something that was going to be kind of off. I'm gonna be nice and just say off. No, fuck that. Not being nice. We should have known that they were gonna do some really shitty stuff because, like, I love Mick Foley, Jon Stewart. I love this show. But why the fuck is he hosting SummerSlam? And why are they doing their little bit in the beginning? It was like you wasted the first, 10, 15 minutes with their bullshit. That was unnecessary. Like, why do you need a host for SummerSlam? Who cares? So that right there should have keyed you that they weren't going to be doing just a straight wrestling pay-per-view. There was going to be a lot of bullshit coming this way, and damn me if they didn't give us the bullshit. Fucking bullshit. But anyway, moving past that, we had the first match, which was Randy Orton and Sheamus. So, like you said, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say with this match, I'm honestly, for me personally, I'm not a fan of Sheamus at all. Like, I really can't stand the guy, and I don't know what it is about Randy Orton. Randy Orton, he always seems to find himself in pointless feuds. like just stupid side feuds. Now I know they're trying to keep. Well, obviously Randy Orton keeps people relevant, and Sheamus they got to keep towards the top card as he has the Money in the Bank. But this match for me personally, even while watching it after the midway point, I still had absolutely zero interest in it. So honestly, I couldn't care less. I didn't care who won, who lost. I just really wanted the match to end from the minute I started watching it.
Yeah, it really, man. It wasn't like, it was like, I guess it's a good way to start it off because I guess it was two of your better known older stars, but it was like, why is this feud still going on? Feud been going on for a while, and it's like a feud that nobody really gave a damn about.
Yeah. But overall, Sheamus ended up picking up the win, which it's kind of obvious he's he's getting on a roll while he has the Money in the Bank briefcase because they've got to at least make him look like he can win matches. He can't just hold the briefcase and lose every week. Though I am very interested to see when Sheamus cashes in. I'm not looking forward to his title reign because we all know that when he cashes it in, he's too big of a superstar to just lose. So honestly, you can tell when, like, for instance, when Damien Sandow lost with his cash in, it's because Sandow wasn't that big. So him going for a title was kind of off at the start to even begin with. The thought of him winning the title was a bit off. With Sheamus, there's no doubt that he'll walk away with the championship. No doubt at all. But we're going to leave that match behind. And this next match was probably, honestly, looking at the card now, I would say it's probably one of the matches of the night, if not the best match of the night. And that's saying something because it's a tag team match, and we all know how the tag team division is. But it was a four-way tag team match between the New Day, the Lucha Dragons, the Primetime Players, and somehow they always sneak their way into these type of matches, the Los Matadores, for the tag team championships, Primetime Players defending it. And this match was just incredible. Like, honestly, what were your thoughts on the mic? What were your thoughts on the match, Mike?
See, it was like after the Sheamus thing, it was like, okay, things kind of picked up. There were some sloppy moments. Fucking Sin Cara. Seriously, why is this dude still wrestling? He botches shit like crazy. Like, he botched the Hurricane Rana. He botched, I forget what the move he was trying to do. But he did it 3 times because it was something before the Hurricane Rana. Then he did the Hurricane Rana. Then he botched the double suplex that was supposed to be against one of the Los Matadores, but they fucked it up to where he fell. So the other one, at least he was smart enough to jump to the top of the rope. I forget if it was Epico or Primo. I don't recognize them as their regular names, you know, Diego.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's Epico and Primo. God damn it. But anyway, the other one jumped up so they can execute the double suplex / powerbomb that Titus ended up doing. You know, kudos to him for saving what fucking Sin Cara fucked up. And Sin Cara does nothing but fuck it up. It's sad.
That tag team in general just does a lot of botches. Cool tag team, but a lot of botches that come with them.
I mean, I will say this. Kalisto does less. I think Kalisto, his botches are more like the other person isn't ready for what he's doing. Whereas with Sin Cara, it tends to be Sin Cara is just a fuck up. And that's just the basic way to look at it. Sin Cara is prone to do botches, like all the time. That's just his thing.
So, like a fun little moment, I gotta say, in this match for me was at the very beginning when Kofi tagged himself in, and then you had Big E go to pin Kofi Kingston. I didn't even know that was a rule. I didn't even think you were allowed to do that. I
didn't either. Me and you both were like unaware that you could actually tag your teammate in, pin him, and win the match. I thought that was really, really clever of them. And it helped like build the heat on the New Day because it's like they do so much that is like just really, really like sneaky and clever. It's like they're the happy-go-lucky heels that just like you hate, but it's like you can't help but admire like how clever they could be with their like underhandedness. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like really they're really good at that shit.
But overall, I thought the match was really, really good. I mean, obvious, like, you knew who was going to get pinned. I mean, the minute Los Matadores were in that, I knew that one of them were going to get pinned. Like, it just had to be the way that it went. I thought it was a bit weird after the pinfall. Like, so basically, the New Day end up winning, and once again, they're the tag team champions, which is good. I mean, they were I really didn't see the Lucha Dragons coming out with a win. I thought they were just
it was
making
either going to be the New Day or the primetime players. I don't think anybody else would have been in the equation. Although I will say this: how like much did we think the primetime players were going to win when they won it? So, yeah,
that's so true. But Kofi ends up getting the pinfall, and then he's doing some weird like rolling on the ground sort of thing.
Again, it's hilarious the things that they do. And Big E, oh my God, Big E. Why did he feel the need to strip off like his strap and do the stripper dance that he did? It was fucking hilarious.
He does that thing with the the straps coming off. Reminds me of Kurt Angle when Kurt Angle used to do it.
Yeah, it was hilarious. It was great though. I mean, but it was a really good match. I thought that was going to be something that was going to set the tone for everything, but unfortunately,
I mean that match took it to the level where we thought it was going to be played at until the bigger matches, obviously pushing far above it. But long behold, that wasn't the case. So the next match, this is where you really question WWE's like match card, like who puts the matches in order. Because the next match, Dolph Ziggler versus Rusev, is just a terrible feud. That's just the truth.
Yeah, they're working way too hard to. And the funny thing is, the feud isn't really between Dolph and Rusev. It's like the feud is Lana and Rusev, and Dolph just happens to be a participant. And same thing with Summer Rae. They just happen to be participants in this spat between a former manager and their wrestler, which I find really weird, and I don't understand why they felt like that's the way that you need to go with Rusev to keep Rusev relevant. I don't know. I don't think it helps him much. So I wonder why they're going this way with that. But
this match, while watching it, again similar to Sheamus Randy Orton match, I really did not care who won. And I don't know why they're trying to force Summer Rae into this angle. Beyond me.
I think it's because they don't really have nothing to do with Summer Rae. She's, especially since she left Fandango, she really don't have a place because she's not really good in the ring. It seems like they gave her little to no training. If they did give her extensive training, then she needs to go back. She needs to do like what Eva Marie did and go and do one-on-one sessions with somebody to help her relearn how to wrestle because she's a shit wrestler. So I don't understand. It just seems like she's just there because she's the only Lana lookalike on the roster, I guess, that can fulfill that role.
I see where you're coming from there. So, actually, talking the match itself, Dolph Ziggler, he's a really good worker. Rusev to me has lost a lot of heat, a lot. Like ever since that loss to Cena at WrestleMania, he has become completely irrelevant. And Dolph Ziggler is. I always refer to Dolph Ziggler as like the most popular jobber. Like he's someone that will like. He has the crowd behind him. He gives you energy in your matches. He'll keep you towards the top end of the card. but he'll never push to the like absolute top, and it kind of affects his matches. But let's not go any further here and not talk about the actual result itself, the ending, and how WWE again they have a match that could end just a simple way, pinfall. Either way, it didn't really matter at the time, but they chose to go with a double count out, which made no sense to me. Like,
Yeah,
why
it
have a
really
double
did.
count out?
Yeah, I didn't understand. I mean, I felt like, and this is kind of like the concurrent theme throughout this pay-per-view. It felt like, okay, we want to keep this going, but we don't know how to keep it going. Like, what would be a benefit where someone wins and this whole thing continues? So let's just, find the easiest cop out that we can to continue this feud. And that was the best that they could come up with, which was, double count out. That's a good way to keep this going, which again made no fucking sense because it led to a situation where you had let's now have the girls do the cat fight thing and get the crowd excited. Well, it really ended badly.
I mean,
it was really bad.
You can already tell they're pushing this feud to the absolute limit, and they're shoveling it in a way that it's going to end as a mixed tag team match. That's just the only outcome I can see. And like you were saying while we were watching the pay-per-view, Vince is really forcing Lana to become a diva, like a wrestler. Like, he's forcing her to actually play that card, where she originally was just meant to be a manager, and now she's being thrown into the role of a wrestler.
Yeah, he just wants, for some reason, he wants her to be that, and I don't really understand why. And it does nothing for Rusev. It's like Rusev now is in a weird position where when he was U.S. champ and he was just beating everybody, he was such a huge overhill that people invested hate in. And it's like after the Cena thing, I mean, and it's sad to say this because it seems like it's a pattern with Cena, where Cena gets into these feuds with heels and he goes over these heels, and then these heels are left floundering, and it's sad because it's like now Rusev is just floundering. Like, what's Rusev's real purpose? This whole him and Lana hating each other is really not helping push him it's like he's not doing anything consequential right now. And it's sad for Dolph too, because Dolph, as usual, is put in a situation where, I'm just here to help, job to someone, or just to keep something going, just to be around, just doing something until they're ready to make whoever the other person is move on to bigger and better things, and I'm stuck being, the ultimate jobber like I am.
Yeah, that is why I refer to him as that. It seems like he's got a ceiling that he just can't break. Like, all WWE superstars that are going up, they all have an endless ceiling. They can just keep going. It's like you feel like Ziggler's trapped inside a box and he can't pass this one point. They've just left him there. And it's very similar in the next match. Superstar we discussed in there is at the same point. WWE have just crammed him in a box and they won't let him pass. But the feud, all I got to say about the Rusev-Ziggler match is that look forward to Raw, because they're going to drag it out then to the next pay-per-view.
Right. It's sad. It's really sad. Night of Champions, Rusev versus Ziggler. And I guess this is probably going to continue until Survivor's series at the least. If not, what's his name? TLC.
Yeah. They'll really drag this out, and it seems to be the trend with Rusev feuds, actually. Like, his feuds seem to go for a retardedly long time. But moving on to the next match, King Barrett and Stardust versus Neville and I think you pronounce it Stephen Amell. Stephen Amell. The guy that plays Arrow is the easiest way to put it.
Yeah,
Oliver
pretty much
Queen.
Arrow.
Why? Yeah, I think that's it. How do I word this? Like, why? I understand that the show is really popular and everything, but I don't understand why they felt the need to put him into a match.
Like, is this some type of cross promotion deal that you made with the WB that you couldn't get out of? So this is the way you do it, or like, is he like really good friends with like Stephanie and Stephanie begged her dad to let her buddy be on? Like, I never understood why they went this way with the feud, especially with Cody, who I'm tired of him being put in this continual stupid mode. Like, seriously, he's not with Goldust anymore. The Stardust thing can die. You can let him be Cody again.
It's really ruined him as a superstar currently. It's affecting it. It's because there's no possible gain for him being Stardust. It's not like Stardust. I would be understanding if Stardust pushed for titles or pushed for something. Stardust is realistically in his fullest form. He's just a kickoff show superstar. Someone that just wastes some time before you get to the actual wrestling. And that's disturbing because Cody Rhodes himself is a great wrestler. And this is why the two belts being placed together has just really hurt a lot of superstars. But you had King Barrett. I mean, King Barrett, what do you get from Wade Barrett? You get from Wade Barrett what you expect. Just same as Stardust, really. Just kind of a time waster. Neville's kind of been pushed down a bit after his introduction, but the match wasn't the worst, I would say. It wasn't the worst, but it definitely wasn't the best. You could see Stephen Amell had some, like, a tiny bit of training. I don't know if this came from the Arrow when he was taking hits, that he knew how to act them slightly. I'm not saying he's a superstar, but I'm saying he did pretty well for someone that has had basically, I would say 100%, I could say he's had zero wrestling experience. So I thought it wasn't bad. I thought it was a bit strange that Neville picked up the win, like Neville pinned. I thought they were going to do the dodgy and get Stephen Amell to go for the pin.
I'm kind of glad he didn't, but yeah.
Yeah, but either way, Stephen Amell and Neville pick up the win. I don't think there's much we can really add to this match. Really comment on this match. This was one of those matches that just kind of happened and you can't really get much out of it. I mean, unless we wanted to sit here 15 minutes breaking down Stephen Amell's performance and his moves, which I don't think we want to do.
I think I'm comfortable not doing that. I think I'm fine with just moving on with the next match. Yeah. Oh, my God.
And we're going to wish we didn't say that. And we're going to wish we actually did break down his
moves. Oh, my God.
The next match was the triple threat for the Intercontinental Championship. Ryback versus The Miz versus Big Show. And this is terrible, WWE. Who wants to see this? Who?
I don't know, Pete. I really don't know.
Name one person that was actually interested in the slightest.
Like I said to you earlier tonight on Skype, I thought it was a great thing that Ryback got hurt during which pay-per-view was it that he was supposed to do the triple threat? It wasn't Battleground. It was the one before that, but they were supposed to have a triple threat between him, The Miz, and Big Show before. But he got a staph infection and they canceled the match. And I was like, that's a good thing because who really wants to see this match at all? And I was proved right because did any of you guys want to see this match? I highly doubt it. I didn't want to see it.
The result was just so predictable. That's the thing that annoys me. It's like, give Ryback this. How many people were in that ladder match at WrestleMania going for the Intercontinental Championship? And Ryback's stuck versing people like The Miz. The Miz currently is just such a waste. He's a waste of space on the roster. I don't know how he's still there. How he still gets on. He should be on main event. The Big Show, he's done as well.
No, I don't even think he should be on main event. If you're gonna keep the Miz around, just have him do his stupid talk show, whatever he calls it, and don't get in the ring, for God's sake.
I don't know. It's just absolutely stupid. Ryback picks up the win. The match was appalling. It was terrible. Ryback was lazy. Didn't really do much. The Miz does what he always does, nothing. And the Big Show was so slow, so impossibly slow. So Ryback retains his Intercontinental Championship, and we don't get 10 minutes back of our lives that we had to waste watching that.
Basically.
They talk about Divas being the toilet break. That match was the toilet break.
Oh, yeah. That was the best time to go to the bathroom. If you didn't, I feel sorry for you because you had to hold your bladder.
So we're just going to move straight along. And this match annoyed you, Cesaro, while we were talking. Okay, so the next match was a tag team match. It was Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper versus Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. Now, this feud has been going for 2 months since Money in the Bank when Bray Wyatt knocked Roman Reigns down off the ladder.
Right.
They've been going at it, and Dean Ambrose has come to help Roman Reigns to even out the numbers, basically. And this match was very predictable in a sense that, like, you knew exactly what was how it was gonna be laid out from the start. So at the start of the match, they're all brawling, and Roman Reigns gets thrown to the side, and he just lays there for the entire match, next to the entire match. And that was the bit that annoyed you.
Yeah, because, okay, I understand, Vince, you tried your best to push the hell out of this dude. You wanted him to be the quote-unquote heir apparent, champion, what have you, and all of that. Okay. It didn't work out that well. Everybody saw through the smoke screen. They thought it wasn't organic. They didn't like how you did the setup for him to, go through the motions and become, WWE champion.
Yeah.
People weren't happy with how it went down. Okay, cool. So you have to reinvent things. You have to, do a reset and build them differently. Now, what I thought the original plan is that they're just going to have him do this, like, he's the suffering, guy. He's going through a lot of different trials and tribulations, which, okay, that's fine with me. The problem that I had was you did exactly what made people really, really irritated about the Royal Rumble. If you guys remember the Royal Rumble, Roman Reigns was laying outside on the ground for how long, or in the corner for a good 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
He spent about 75 to 80% of the Royal Rumble on the ground in the corner.
Yeah, exactly. And this was a repeat. In the beginning, they had a little brawl with Luke Harper, Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt knocks down Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns, this guy who at WrestleMania took everything from fucking Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar fucking brutalized him with suplexes, F5s, all types of shit. And he was getting up laughing at Brock Lesnar. You mean to tell me that little bit that Bray Wyatt did to you on the outside of the ring incapacitated someone who took Brock Lesnar, punishing him, couldn't get up from what Bray Wyatt did for a good 15, good 75-80% of this whole match?
So saying this match is, say, for instance, I'm not sure on the exact run time. I'd say it was about 10 to 15. It was closer to 10. It was probably about 10 minutes. I'd say about 7 of those minutes was Roman Reigns on the ground. He was to the point where the crowd actually said, Reigns is sleeping. That is how long he was on the ground for. Then typically towards the end of the match, you see Dean Ambrose going to his corner. Roman Reigns is there, starts hitting all these moves, all that. And as we expected, Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose won. I don't think that was ever in doubt or in question, especially because of the length. Everyone knew that Roman Reigns was going to come back, do his moves, and then win the match. Like, that is so obvious when a superstar's gone for that period of time. And it really did affect the match. It affected it a fair bit. And I was just, it was another match where I was just glad it finished.
Yeah, because it was just booked wrong. Whoever wrote that, they need to be fired. Seriously. If Vince wrote it, Vince needs to be told straight to his face by someone with the balls that Vince, you don't have it anymore. You used to be kind of clever back in the day, but no more. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. Stop it. Because like I told my boy who tweeted me about it, I'm like, you're ruining this kid's career. I understand a lot of people don't like Roman Reigns because of how they kind of pushed him. But I think Roman Reigns has potential to be a good superstar as long as they book him right and let him develop, at a good pace. But they just don't know how to utilize him to get him over. It's like, okay, you want to get him over now. All right, that's fine. You probably shouldn't. You probably should let him take a couple of years and flesh his whole repertoire, moveset, his mic skills and stuff out. But you want to do this now, fine. There's a way that you can do this that's right, but what you're doing is not right at all. Stuff like having this fool lay down on the fucking ground for almost all of a match while his partner gets extremely destroyed, and then all of a sudden he rises up like the Phoenix,
like a phoenix.
and fucking, all of a sudden powers the fuck up. It's like, hey, I'm good now. Tag me. As soon as Dean Ambrose tagged him, it was like nothing happened to this fool. Really. Well, it was like I would have bought it more had he continually tried to get back in the match, but you saw Luke Harper or Bray Wyatt fucking bury him.
Yeah, stomp him down or something.
But no one touched this guy. He laid there by himself, doing God knows what.
Twiddling his thumbs.
Yeah, he could have literally sat and read a couple of chapters of a book until Dean was ready to tag him in. It was so fucking dumb. And they're making him look like an idiot.
So Roman Reigns comes, he's got the pop of the crowd. Actually, he was getting booed, to be honest, when he came back in, and he's hitting those normal moves. The Superman punch was hit at least 4 times.
Yeah.
Then you right at the very end, Luke Harper gets thrown out of the ring. Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt goes to hit Sister Abigail and Dean Ambrose. He reverses it, dirty deeds. Tags in Reigns. Reigns hits the spear, and that was it. To be honest, Dean Ambrose should have just won the match with the dirty deed.
Yeah, exactly. That's how it should have ended. But no.
They gave Reigns the benefit of the doubt. And that's the end of that match. Thank God. And it moves. So we got 4 matches left, and these are probably the bigger 4. And we'll talk about this one. We'll go in order. So in order, I won't skip around. The next match of the night was Seth Rollins versus John Cena, and holy shit, this was where shit got retarded. Shit just got so dumb, so stupid, so quickly that I couldn't believe it.
Just go ahead, Pete. Just go ahead.
We are looking at the time, and we notice there's still about 2 hours left of SummerSlam at this point.
Yeah.
And we're like, no way, this match is going to go for this long. We have to have other matches in between. Like I said, we didn't really know the card. We just knew that Undertaker vs. Lesnar was the main event and a few other matches. But this match, Seth Rollins, Cena, I knew they could get about 30, 40 minutes out of these guys. And the match, well, first off, let's start by saying Seth Rollins came out wearing all white. I don't know what he was thinking. Your tweet where it's like that one you retweeted about Seth Rollins being the white Power Ranger.
Right.
That happens. The match itself was pretty decent. Like it actually wasn't bad. There was a lot of crazy things. Like there was one bit in it where Seth Rollins picks up John Cena from the ground, lifts him, and does how Cena does, and like throws him onto his shoulders and does the attitude adjustment. Something I really honestly didn't think Seth Rollins was capable of strength-wise. I didn't think he had enough strength to do that, but he's definitely proved me wrong. And the match had its highs. I mean, more people are hitting Cena's finishes on him than he's hitting on other people. That's the honest truth of WWE.
It's very sad. It's like everybody like hits him with the AA. It never fails.
Yeah, 100% hit record for if you try and hit the AA on John Cena, but also 100% kick out record.
Yeah,
that man won it. But the match got really stupid at the end, and this is where I feel like WWE had no idea what they were doing. Like, this is just stupid writing. Why get this? I can't even. What's the guy's name? Jesus, what's his name? The guy that interfered. I just forget his name. The one with the chair.
John Stewart. Yeah, it made no sense. It made no fucking sense that John Stewart fucking comes out and is like, now, I guess there's understanding from the sense that there's history between him and Seth Rollins, whereas Seth Rollins came at him and talked shit about him in his show. He got like a little hit on an episode of Raw on Seth Rollins and all that. It was like the goofy bullshit they do now and then on Raw. But it's like, at this point, a title for title match that was going phenomenally. It's like, say what you will about Cena kicking out all of that stuff and all that. The match actually had a good flow to it. It was craziness going on. It was entertaining as hell. And then Jon Stewart comes out with the chair and is like trying to decide who he's going to go after. And then it really makes no more sense for him to go after the quote unquote babyface in Cena, because earlier during the pay-per-view, he went at Paul Heyman about, how disgusting it was for Brock to beat the Undertaker, and how, Paul Heyman being such a dick about the Undertaker losing to, Brock Lesnar was, and all of that, and how it was like a disgrace to wrestling fans, and blah, blah, blah. He cut a babyface type promo. So now you're going to come and do a heel fucking move? It's like, are we supposed to, was that like your idea of a swerve WWE? Because I promise you, nobody gave a fuck about Jon Stewart. I mean, again, fan of his work. Love the Daily Show. But it's in, context of wrestling, fuck Jon Stewart. Why is he there? And this just made it worse.
That was my point exactly. Like, you're having a big title fight. This is the one of the only title that was probably the besides the Intercontinental and the Tag Team Championship. That is the only title that was on the line of the night. This is your main title, and you have someone like Jon Stewart just come in, look at Seth Rollins, then turn and hit John Cena. Where's the logic, WWE? Like, honestly, where is the logic?
None whatsoever. And now Seth Rollins is now the WWE and US title. And again, like you said earlier, this is why they need to split the titles, because now the major titles of WWE, because, hey, y'all treat the Intercontinental title like shit, so it's not a major title no more. But the two biggest titles in WWE are now on Seth Rollins' waist because Jon Stewart fucking cheated. And it sets up a plausible rematch for Cena. because now he has extra beat. It's like, okay, I understand you want this feud to continue. There are better ways to continue this feud than dumb shit like this. Like, it's not controversial. It's not engaging. It's just dumb.
It's just bad writing. It is terrible writing, and
horrible writing.
I don't know where the WWE is going to take it to from here. Honestly, it really does just make you know. Now we know that at Night of Champions, it's Seth Rollins versus John Cena again.
Yeah, and most likely it's going to be just for the WWE title, and it's probably going to be the moment where Cena gets his 16th title.
I mean, he's
by the
so
way,
close.
Him putting the fucking figure 4 on, I was so fucking mad when I saw that. I thought they were going to have him tie Ric Flair by beating Seth Rollins with the figure 4. Glad they didn't go there. But I wouldn't be surprised if they do that next, match.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically set in stone that Cena will pass Ric Flair's record of 16. Like I was saying just before we started the podcast, Cena got his title, like this amount of titles, he got it too young. He's 38, but he had 16. He won his 16th title, last year?
His 15th. He's 16th is the record. So
he's
15th.
15th.
But he won it sometime last year. Yeah.
So he was. He's just flying with the title reigns. So overall, from that match, very good match if you ignore the ending. If you take the ending out, if someone hadn't seen the match and they wanted to know what to see, watch the match until Jon Stewart comes out, turn it off.
Yeah,
you'd be pretty impressed.
And it's pretty much a great match at that point, but they had to ruin it.
Trend of the night. So we're going to move right along to the next match, and going in order of that match, it is the Divas 3-way tag match. Very similar to the first match of the night in terms of how it is. You have 3, 3, and 3, and one diva from 2 of the teams will start, and then you tag your way in. But it was elimination, as opposed to one pinfall gets the win, which was cool. And you had Team Bad versus Team Bella versus Team Becky, Caitlyn, and Paige.
Yeah, did they call themselves anything other than that?
No, they just kept their names, which Team Becky, Charlotte. I'm pretty sure I said Caitlyn this thing because we were talking about Caitlyn, what happened to her. But the match itself, first thing I'm going to complain. This match wasn't terrible, but it deserves a rant at the start of it. So Team Bad was eliminated so quickly to the point where Sasha Banks barely got any ring time. Naomi got the slightest bit of ring time. Like the team that I thought was going to win originally, once looking at it, or at least have a significant impact, did next to nothing. And I know that Sasha Banks had her match at the NXT pay-per-view the night before, but still, that's no excuse to have her do nothing, just make up numbers. So you had all the divas on the outside, everyone's jumping on, like the Bellas ended up jumping onto Naomi and Tamina. Then you had Paige jump from the top rope onto all of them. It was just chaos. And then, as I was saying to you earlier, when was the last time Brie picked up a clean pinfall? Next thing you know, in the ring, Brie pins Tamina.
I know, that was funny. And it was pretty quick, like you said. But I guess, like I was saying to you, I guess it all goes back to the fact that maybe Sasha just wrestled a hell of a match the previous night for the NXT title, so they kind of wanted to get her out of the ring early. It doesn't make sense, but that's the best sense I can make out of it.
It's the best excuse we can make up for.
Yeah, exactly. The best excuse that you could out there.
So after that, basically, I'm it's listed. The match was listed as a 3-way tag match. I'm really just counting this as a tag match. Like, it was just 2 teams. That's how I'm going to look at it. And you had, like, the Bellas were left, obviously, Brie, Nikki, and Alicia Fox, and so Becky, Caitlyn, and Paige. The match itself actually it was quite lengthy after that point. After Tamina was pinfalled and Team Bad was eliminated, the rest of the match was actually pretty lengthy and decent. It was good to see the Divas get a bit more screen time and a bit more in-ring time. Yeah. And it's good to say that at no stage during the match was I like, wow, I really don't want to see this. Like, while watching them, I was like, this is good. This is good. Like, Divas are heading in the right direction. They're getting more time. Their matches are actually meaning things now. But again, it's another pay-per-view where Nikki doesn't defend the belt, which kind of sucks in a way.
Yeah, they're finding clever ways to make her beat AJ Lee's record, which kind of pisses me off.
I think she's at like 275 days now.
Yeah.
So something along those lines. Yeah, so she'll beat that comfortably, in my opinion. So over at the end of the match, Becky, Caitlyn, and Paige win. I can't remember exactly who got the pinfall though. I think
it was Becky.
It
was Becky.
Oh yeah.
She did a move.
No.
But I remember you making that comment where you didn't think her move should have got the pin, and I kind of agree. It was like it should have set up her armbar or tap out. But
so this match is doing well to this point. At the end, Becky hits this move, which I thought was just a move. I thought she just slammed her and that's it. I'm like, okay, she's done the slam. She's obviously setting up for something else. Then she turns around, goes for the pin, and actually pins her. I was like, what? That's how you're going to end the match? I mean, you said that they probably got told that they had to wrap up the match quickly. But seriously, you can't throw in a finisher? You can't throw in one finisher? That is lazy.
That's WWE logic.
Oh my god, it's so annoying.
I don't know what else to say, but
we can't say anything else because that was so stupid. Like,
yeah.
Anyway, Team Becky, Caitlyn, and Paige pick up the win in the stupid. That is one of the worst pinfalls, and we spoke about Bayley's finisher, which is just as retarded. The Bayley to belly. But that, I would be happy seeing Bayley to bellies every week if I didn't have to put up with whatever that was. That Becky
because at least you know she finished with her finisher. As weak as her finisher is,
at least you know it's a finisher. Like that, I'm pretty sure Becky didn't even know what she did. She was just like, slam. That was one of those things where you go for the pin and you expect, like, you're so... I was so relaxed and confident for a 2 that when the 3 happened, it was similar to when Undertaker got pinned at WrestleMania. I was just like, what the fuck just happened? What am I watching? Obviously, on a lot less of a scale than the Undertaker getting pinned.
Yeah, I don't think it was that much of an impact, but yeah.
But not impact, just... That was stupidity. You know, okay, so... Divas, gotta say, heading in the right direction. Just it'd be very interesting to see after Nikki breaks the 300-day reign or the 298 or whatever it is day reign. What happens? I want her to
break it. No, don't. If anybody's gonna break it, I would rather it be Paige or one of the other new call-ups.
Nikki's too close to not break it now. It's just a question of what will they do after she breaks it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when the Divas division will be a bit more exciting.
Yeah, I have a feeling that whoever they give it to is going to be one. I think it's going to either be Paige. Well, of course, it's either going to be Paige. Paige is always going to be in the running. I'm hoping it's one of the newer girls, like
Sasha Banks would be
Charlotte.
Cool. Charlotte.
Honestly, Sasha Banks makes a great fucking champion for the women's division. If you saw the NXT TakeOver people, you'll realize like she's fucking great with the belt. Like her ring psychology is really good right now. I'm not saying it's perfect, but she has a really good understanding of how to be a heel and what a heel needs to do to get themselves over during the match. It's really good. The way she toys with the baby faces, the way she's willing to like do dirty, underhanded things that are just on the edge without getting disqualified and all of that. She knows when to take these like risky moves that may sacrifice her body but will do more damage. She's really good. She's really, really good. When she did this move during the NXT takeover, it was like she had Bayley on the outside, and Bayley was getting counted out, and the referees like standing at the ropes, like counting, looking at Bayley to see if Bayley was all right. She like stands behind the referee and looks at him while he's doing a count, and all of a sudden she just goes, "Fuck it." She runs to the ropes, jumps over the referee, and fucking dives into Bayley to like knock her out. It was like, wow. It was like she's just like, or like with Bayley having the hand injury, she got to the point where like, okay, I need to do something to take her out. So she took Bayley's like glove off and then put her hand like and start attacking her hand, to take her hand out, to make her one-handed. She knows how to work a match very, very well. All of those girls brought up know how to work a match very, very well. And I'm excited for what the future holds with those girls. Seriously.
That's so true. And even just watching matches with Sasha Banks, she's just been, since I started watching NXT, the Divas division has actually been arguably my favorite bit of watching NXT. Of course, they had the great wrestlers as well, the great male superstars, but seeing the difference from the WWE Divas to the NXT women wrestlers is just, it's crazy. And I'm glad that they've been all brought across together, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. But moving on to the next match, this was a little surprise match because I didn't know it was there, and you definitely didn't know because you said, I didn't even know this was a match. You had Cesaro versus Kevin Owens, and this was the match just before the main event. So to hold us over, and Kevin Owens had the insane ladder match the night before. So that's no excuse for Sasha Banks to not wrestle. Kevin Owens had a ladder match, and he came into this pay-per-view and had a match against Cesaro, which wasn't a short match, might I add you. It wasn't one of these crushing matches. It was a chance to see Cesaro wrestle, who's a great wrestler, very underused wrestler, but great wrestler nonetheless, versus Kevin Owens. And this match was actually really good.
Yeah, no, it was real entertaining. The back and forth was good. The moves that they pulled on each other, some of them were extra insane. Cesaro is off the fucking chain. I'm glad that he's getting some spotlight. And although I do find it very weird that this was the match that came before the main event. I'm happy that it was, but at the same time, I feel like they were expecting this to be a match where people wouldn't pay attention and not realizing that, hey, you're not burying these two guys. Kevin Owens and like Cesaro are over with wrestling fans, like pure wrestling fans. They may not rate with the casual market because they're not like the names like John Cena, Randy Orton, the people that casual wrestling fans recognize, but people who've been around for a while, especially if you've ever watched ROH, Cesaro and Kevin Owens. So, this match was a really good matchup, and they did a great job. They did the damn thing in this match.
Yeah. So, the match had highlights, definitely. There was a point where Cesaro, jumped out of the ring over the top rope to Kevin Owens and did, a spin in midair. That was really cool. And there was that uppercut. I know on the outside. I love the European
uppercut. It's fucking great the way he does it.
Yeah, when he ran outside the ring, he was sprinting and then he did the uppercut. Kevin Owens does he sells really well, I'm not going to lie. And then at the end, it ended how I think we all kind of expected it to. I didn't think Cesaro would get over, me personally. But Kevin Owens ended up picking up the win, the pop-up powerbomb. I think that's how it's pronounced. But nonetheless, probably I would say that's the best match of the night, result wise.
Yeah, because the other, you can make a case for the Rollins, Cena, and you can make a case for the main event too, which we'll get to later. But from beginning to end, this was the best match.
This was one of those matches where it was no unexpected, stupid surprises that WWE is so well known for. Now, at this point, we were just, I personally, after that match, I'm just hanging for the main event. Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker. I've heard a lot of people over the past few weeks say that they don't really care about this match. Why do we have to see Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker again? Then you got other people that are like, this is great, Undertaker's back. Not fighting at WrestleMania, so he's giving us another match in the year, which is awesome. But this match was actually really, really good, and it started well. And I know you had a fair bit to say about the Undertaker's intro, how much you liked it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, pound for pound, I can't think of any wrestling intro that beats Undertaker's. Over the years, it's one of those intros that you just can't help but to get goosebumps over. It really, it really resonates. It resonates so well with people. It's very well done. I can never say that. I mean, I guess if you want to make a claim that the Undertaker hasn't always had a great intro, you could try to say the American Badass intro wasn't as good, but I mean, I actually kind of dug the American Badass.
Was that the Limp Bizkit thing?
Yeah, when he came out on the motorcycle and shit. I actually thought that was cool too, but no, his traditional Dead Man intro it can't be, in my mind, at least from my perspective, it can't be surpassed. But that's just my fan, being the fan of Undertaker talking, I think.
Yeah. No, without a doubt, his intro is really, really good. Everyone really enjoys his intro, and it was good. It was he came out. It was nice to see his intro again. Like I said, when he actually hangs up his boots and just says that's it with the WWE, it's going to be something you miss.
Yeah, it's going to leave a void, definitely.
And yeah, overall, so the match gets started. Lesnar's already in the ring, being the beast that he is, just sitting in the ring waiting, and he comes out, just starts laying into the Undertaker. The match didn't even have a chance to ring the bell.
It didn't officially begin, and Brock was like, "Fuck this, I'm going for it."
It's funny because the commentators always talk about how what are these wrestlers thinking when their Undertaker's on the way to the ring, blah blah blah. You're terrified, you're shaking, and then before the Undertaker can even roll his eyes, he's got Brock Lesnar just laying into him.
Brock gives no fucks. I don't give no fuck at all about who you are. He's going for it, and that was great.
That's the honest truth, and honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way, because that match, when it started, you had Brock unloading on Undertaker. Undertaker unloads back, and then they get back into the ring. It's about 5 minutes after, 2-3 minutes after, when the ref sneaks in the bell ring. It wasn't even an official separation. It was just a point where they're both in the ring, and he was just like, "Let's go."
Let's just start the match, because they're not going to stop. Why not? It was great. It was great. And the match itself was great, because they just both went. It was nice to see The Undertaker do a lot of work. He put in a lot of work. Seriously. I was
he did look good.
Yeah. He looked really, really good. It was I mean, I was kind of expecting something a little bit more slow, methodical to kind of save him, but it didn't come off that way. I mean, they just went at each other.
Yeah, from beginning to end, that was how it was, and there was so many moves. Like there was a tombstone, like 3 F5s, a last ride. Old school came in at one stage. Everything was hit. Everything that could have been hit was hit.
Yeah, it was really, really good. The best moment, though, you have to admit this, Pete. The best moment was after they both were on the ground, and then Brock gets up and he's just laughing at the Undertaker, and then you see the Undertaker like does the sit up and stares at him, and Brock's just laughing, and the Undertaker just starts laughing like ha 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 ha. It's like touching him. It was so fucking great. I marked out that like that after I was just. I couldn't contain myself after that. I marked out super hard after that. It was fucking great. It was extremely great.
That was a good moment. Like I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like that point, I heard you laughing. You were just laughing your ass off.
Yeah, I couldn't contain myself.
Nah, it was like you see him looking at the Undertaker, just laugh. But after all that, like the smoke's cleared, it's just incredible scenes. Like that was this match was honestly better than the match at WrestleMania, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, by far. I felt like and you know,
it wasn't one-sided.
To be honest, Undertaker probably wasn't in his best shape, and he did get hurt early on, so that kind of marred the match. But having a fully in shape, ready to go Undertaker, who was able to work at a decent enough pace, at a higher pace than we all expected, probably, it just made it that much better.
Yeah, that's definitely it. That's definitely the way to put it. And I mean, the only downfall from this match was the ending, and I think that was the case. It was the downfall for a few matches, actually.
Notice when you said that, I had to start taking like a sip of this vodka and Coke because I feel like I'm about to go on an epic rant, and so I need to calm myself down. Seriously.
Oh no, go on that epic rant. Let's take a journey and actually get your 2 cents worth for the ending.
So this fucking match was like a really huge fan service match. You got a hell of a show put on by the Undertaker, who we all, like, again, as I said, probably expected like a lesser performance against Brock Lesnar, who's been like building this whole, this whole mystique of being this beast, and who was this beast. So you had the beast versus the dead man. It was a very classic match that was just like really great. I mean, the blood on Brock, like you said before, the moves that were hit, 3 F5s, the last ride, 2 Kimura locks, 2 Hell's Gates. Old school came into play, even though it got interrupted. The Tombstone Power Driver, the Choke Slam. They were going at it it was ridiculous. This was a war. It was an epic war. So then you get to the end where Brock puts the Kimura lock on, and all of a sudden you hear the bell ring. Now, to be fair, we didn't see it at first because the camera didn't show it from that angle. So we were all like, what the fuck? Why is the bell going off? So at that point, that was when I was pissed. I was like, God damn it, why do you have to have a controversial ending? There's no reason this match should end controversial. You've already fucked up the Seth Rollins shit with that ending, with the controversial bullshit that you did there. Why? You already made a shitty run with the Roman Reigns match where you had him sit outside and look like a fucking idiot and further bury him and make people not like that guy when all you've been trying to do is to get him over. You've been trying to get Roman Reigns over since what? Fucking sometime last year. And all you do is this dumb shit with him. You've done nothing but dumb shit all fucking night. Why? Why are you becoming retarded in the main event? Why is the main event becoming a total clusterfuck? by you having that bell ring. The ref was like, hey, I didn't call for the bell. He's not tapped out. It's not over. Then you have the Undertaker hit him with a fucking low blow, like a cheap fucking heel, like a cheesy fucking heel. The Undertaker goes with the low blow and then puts Brock in the Hell's Gate. Now, to Brock's credit, Brock did the awesome thing. Brock fucking was like, fuck you. Fuck you. I love when he put the finger like, fuck you. And then, like, they call for the bell with Brock. Like, did Brock tap out? I don't remember Brock really tapping out.
No, Brock didn't tap out. He passed out.
Right. He just, like, fucking threw him the finger and passed, quote-unquote, passed out. Mind you, I just said, we've had fucking, he's been hit with Tombstone. This is the second Hell's Gate he was put in. He's been hit with the choke slam. You know, he's like they've been going back and forth, destroying each other. Brock, the beast incarnate, the man who's taken so much, he passes out. Seriously? Then you go back to the tape, and not only do you have the fact that Undertaker hit him in the balls like a fucking punk bitch, but he tapped out. We just couldn't see it. So he tapped out, and the match should have ended. Now, here's my thing. He's tapping. How did the guy ringing the bell know that he was tapping? He doesn't have a fucking monitor next to Dewey. Is he able to see all camera angles and switch through, push a button? So why is he pushing the button? It fucking made no goddamn sense at fucking all. And you ruined the best match. That was the best match of the night. Right now, as it stands, either you could say Cesaro, Kevin Owens is the best match, or the tag team championship that the New Day won is the best match. The best match should have been fucking Brock and Undertaker, but no, you pull some silly cartoon bullshit at the end to try to extend this feud. You didn't need to pull cartoon bullshit in this feud. You could have had Undertaker tap out cleanly, and then we could have went down the road of, can he beat Brock? It's like Brock now, you know, he has it in for the Undertaker. The Undertaker is pretty much done, washed up. We could have carried this whole scenario until WrestleMania, had Undertaker beat Brock at WrestleMania cleanly, and walk off into the sunset, leaving at home in Texas and retiring. And it would have been like fairy tale story that we would have got, and we would have got over the whole fact that Brock shouldn't have beat him at WrestleMania in the first goddamn place. No, now Undertaker looks soft. He looks like a fucking bitch. He looks like a bitch. You've taken a legend and you put him in bitch mode. Why? Why the fuck did you do that? I'm not understanding why. Now we're gonna go to like this whole rigmarole where Brock. I mean, I guess it builds Brock as a face a little bit more, but it's like, where are we going with the Undertaker now? Because I don't know about you. I'm not going to look at the Undertaker as a heel from now on. His career's not going to be long enough to be a decent enough heel, to be quite honest.
He's not even going to have the heel. He's going to just stay as a face. That is going to make no sense. It's not going to be. It's just going to. All that's going to happen is on Raw. Heyman's going to complain, saying that Lesnar won, he never lost, blah, blah, blah. And then he's going to show the footage of The Undertaker and the Kimura tapping out, didn't get the win, and then they're going to set up another match.
Yeah. And that match is probably not going to happen until WrestleMania. So now what are you going to do? Is Brock going to like prove that it was no fluke and he beats The Undertaker? The Undertaker retires with a loss at WrestleMania? I don't think people want to see that because they weren't happy with the last one. What the fuck are you doing? Where are they going to actually fight at Night of Champions? Because honestly, I feel like that's the only way you can rectify it. Either you have them fight again at Night of Champions, or maybe you hold it off to TLC or Royal Rumble. You can't let Undertaker lose again at WrestleMania.
I mean, it really just depends where they put the Undertaker. Yeah, obviously he's not going to be fighting every week, so he's only going to be coming for pay-per-views, and it depends how often Undertaker wants to play, because now he's forced into a situation where he's going to have another match.
Yeah, he does. And it's like, where is this going to end for the Undertaker? It's like, okay, I mean, like, let's be honest. Brock's not necessarily a full heel. He was going babyface before this. Even after, if he would have lost cleanly to the Undertaker or he beat Undertaker cleanly, he wasn't going to be a heel anymore because I think Brock's become such a like a phenomenon at this point with the whole Beast Incarnate thing, with Paul Heyman hyping him now, that he's never going to be a proper heel, especially since the last match he lost was against a guy who cheated. Like, you know, a lot of people will say kind of cheated the system to get the belt off him. It's like Seth didn't beat Brock. He got over on a technicality, so to speak, type of thing. So Brock's kind of shielded from being a full-on heel at this point.
Yeah.
So I don't understand like what would have been a problem if he would have tapped Undertaker out and the Undertaker came back, beat him at WrestleMania. Brock would have been fine. He could have went on, still been, you know, the quasi babyface that he was, and beat the shit out of everybody in the roster, and we would have all been cheering that shit on because we love to see Suplex City, bitch. We love that shit. You know what I mean? So I don't understand their reasoning behind this, the purpose. What's the storytelling vice that they're going with this? It just makes no fucking sense whatsoever. And I'm not looking forward to seeing how they're going to explain this bullshit. Now, the one thing I can say is that at least the thing that we get out of this is that we're going to get like Paul Heyman at his like finest, because I guarantee you the rant that Paul Heyman is going to go on tomorrow night is going to be ridiculous. So that is the only benefit I see out of all this, because like at the end of the match when Paul Heyman came out, it was like banging the bell and just like kind of the mic and like no. The winner of this match is Bronco. You know, that was great, but outside of that, none of that made fucking sense. And it was the proper ending to a bullshit night, an overall night that had great moments that was fucking, you know, covered in the bullshit that is Vince McMahon and his bullshit WWE writing. Fuck you, Vince. Fuck you. I'm done with my rant. I'm sorry.
No, that's good. So now it's just a waiting game, waiting for Raw this week so they can explain half the bullshit we just witnessed. I wanted to mention, since we are live, I don't know if we actually had people watching live and leaving comments. I got no idea because
I can't see. Unfortunately, I can't see the comments because I don't know if this thing is running or not. I know there's been people coming in and out, and I thank you guys for coming, watching, participating. Appreciate all the likes that were hit on this video. Thank you guys for hanging in with us because we've been gone for so long. Yet you showed us love, and it's much appreciated.
Yeah, definitely. Like the support on the video already has been incredible, and we've just returned. But sorry we can't see the comments. I don't know why.
Google
but definitely leave comments and let us know your thoughts on SummerSlam as a whole, or if you had any questions, and then we can answer them during our Raw review at the start. And yeah, is there anything you want to add on SummerSlam besides the fact that it's an absolute pile of garbage and that they're so stupid for half the things they've done? Well, now they're going to have to explain it to us.
What would your rating be? Because we usually do ratings.
Yeah, we do.
What would your rating be?
You know, I would say it was still, for me, it's still like a 7. Like a 7. It was going, if they had nailed, like, okay, you take away the guy, always forget his name, interfering in the Seth Rollins match.
Jon Stewart.
Jon Stewart, you take him away, scribble him out, have a normal ending to that match. I don't know who wins, whatever. Then you have the Divas match end with a proper finisher. And then finally you have Undertaker not look like a bitch, look like the legend he is. Win or lose, it doesn't matter, because like you said, he loses, he can just take it to WrestleMania, win there, and ride off into the sunset. You do those three things, this pay-per-view could have been a perfect, like almost a perfect. There were still some matches, like we said, Randy Orton and Sheamus didn't stand out. The Miz, Big Show, and Ryback was stupid, but honestly, I'm not gonna lie. This was a 7, and I'm giving it a 7 based on the fact that I did enjoy the Lesnar Taker match up until the very end, until the last, say, 2 minutes. So I'll go with a 7. What are you giving it?
Yeah, see, if this were a video game with a bad ending, I could still give it an 8, 9 off of, like, I could say it plays well. The story's good. But it just fell kind of flat at the end. But this is a different medium where with wrestling, the matches are huge. The flow of the match, how you go about the pacing, all of that is huge. The finishes are everything in wrestling. If the finish doesn't make sense, then it's like the whole journey through the whole thing kind of has no meaning, because it's not like it's something that you're interacting with or you're doing yourself. Like with a video game, I could say, okay, not saying that I thought the finish was bad, but there was something like with the Order 1886. I could say the finish was bad, but the gun mechanics were good. The plot of the story was good. Not with wrestling, because again, it's like it's big. It's a different thing. That being said, this is, like you said, more of a 7 because they didn't totally execute with things. I don't know where we're going with things. If this is the reason I say the finish is everything with wrestling, is because it's such a it's a never-ending story. You need to kind of understand, or at least have some type of acceptance to where they may be going. And with this whole shit, I don't know. Like, okay, where are we going with the Seth Rollins and John Cena shit? Why is this going to be like John Cena's next epic feud that he goes over on? Do we need John Cena to go over on Seth? Because then where's that going to put Seth if you put John Cena over? Like, is Seth going to end up like most people who John Cena go over on? Have no place to really go. So what's happening with that? Roman Reigns, what the fuck are you doing with him? You pretty much put him in a position where people are still reacting to him with a lot of, visceral hate because you made him look weak. Where are you going with this guy's career and his path? What's the deal? Is he still beefing with what's his name now? Because you've had him buried against Bray Wyatt now, and all of a sudden he wins his tag team match. Okay, what are you doing with him? How does this constructively lead to the next point of the story? Undertaker, what's the deal? Are you trying to make him a heel? Is he still our beloved Undertaker? Did he need to be weakened that way by having to hit Brock in the nuts to like tap him out? Like, I don't understand. Like, what's the story? What's going on there? It just, I don't know what they're doing, and I feel like they don't know what they're doing, and therefore I can't give them anything higher than maybe a 7, because the 7 is all about the performance of the athletes as far as their, like, how they did their ring work, but the storytelling destroys it. It should probably be a 6, to be quite honest, because of the storytelling. But I have to give their performances a higher rating, so 7 is the best I can go.
That's fair enough. I think we can all agree on that. That's the truth. And like I said, you guys watching. Leave in the comment section below. Let us know what you thought of SummerSlam, your rating, and yeah, any questions on certain events within SummerSlam or WWE in general, and we'll answer them. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up our SummerSlam coverage. We'll be back this week to cover Raw, and hopefully we'll have some excuses as to why things unraveled the way they did.
Yeah, definitely. I hope they do take the time to kind of explain what they're doing and where they're going.
Yeah.
Let us pray, people. But we're back. We are back on a consistent basis now. Sorry for the delay again. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. We appreciate you guys coming through, and I think that's about it. So, Pete, go ahead and say your farewells to the people.
All right. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting, showing the love on this podcast. Just something fun that we like to do. And we will see you this week for some more WWE talk.
Definitely. Thank you again, like Pete said, for the support, and we will see you guys later this week. Have a good evening. I hope you aren't as like fucking mad as I am. I hope you enjoyed the show a little bit more than I did. All right, y'all. We're out of here. Peace.